It's 3 a.m. You wake up. Your heart isn't racing. Nothing is wrong. You just wake up. You check your phone. You feel a flicker of panic. Something must be broken. Your sleep, your brain, your body. But the real answer is far stranger. For most of human history, waking up in the middle of the night wasn't a malfunction. It was the plan. Your ancestors didn't sleep in one long block from 10 to 6. They slept in two. A first sleep. A gap of quiet wakefulness in the dark. And then a second sleep that carried them into morning. Historian A. Roger Kirch spent over a decade digging through diaries, court records, and medical texts from pre-industrial Europe. He found hundreds of casual references to first sleep and second sleep, mentioned the way you'd mention lunch. Not as an event. As a fact of life. People used that middle hour for almost everything. Prayer. Sex. Quiet conversation with a spouse. Tending the fire. Some just lay in the dark and thought. Physicians even wrote that the gap was healthy, a time when the body digested and the mind settled. So what changed? Why does your body now expect one unbroken block of sleep, and panic when it doesn't get one? The answer starts with fire. Or rather, the absence of it. Before artificial light, night was long. Painfully long. In winter, darkness could stretch 14 hours. No human, no animal, sleeps that long in one sitting. The body isn't built for it. So it split the difference. Sleep, wake, sleep again. In 1990, psychiatrist Thomas Ware ran an experiment that would end up proving this by accident. He placed a group of volunteers in a room with 14 hours of darkness a day, mimicking a pre-industrial winter night, no clocks, no artificial light. For the first few weeks, the volunteers slept in one long, restless block, catching up on years of light-drenched, sleep-deprived modern living. But then something shifted. Their sleep split in two. A few hours of rest. Then an hour or two of calm, quiet wakefulness. Then a second sleep that finished the night. Ware had, without meaning to, recreated the exact sleep pattern Kirch found buried in centuries-old diaries. Your body already knows how to do this. It's still in there. Here's the part that should really stop you. That hour of nighttime wakefulness wasn't stressful for Ware's volunteers. It was calm. Some described it as meditative. Their brains, during that window, showed elevated levels of prolactin, a hormone linked to relaxation and, in some studies, to feelings of contentment. You have a built-in, evolutionarily old moment of stillness. And modern life has erased it so thoroughly that when it tries to surface, you call it insomnia. If you woke up at 3 a.m. last night, think back. Was your mind racing, or was it quiet? That single difference might say more about your relationship with light and darkness than any sleep tracker ever could. Type your answer in the comments, because the pattern showing up down there might surprise you. And if your brain is the kind of thing you like having explained to you like this, subscribe now. This channel exists to hand you back the pieces of yourself that history quietly misplaced. There's a lot more still buried. So why did it disappear? Light. Cheap, abundant, artificial light. As gas lamps and later electric lighting spread through cities in the 1800s and 1900s, night stopped being dark. It stopped being long. Streets stayed lit. Homes stayed lit. Factories ran shifts around the clock, and workers needed to sleep on a schedule that served the machine, not the body. Segmented sleep didn't just fade. It was pushed out. Historian A. Roger Kirch has argued that the shift wasn't gradual curiosity. It was economic pressure meeting new technology, and within a few generations, an entire pattern of human rest simply vanished from cultural memory. Nobody decided to forget it. It just stopped being useful, and useless things get dropped fast. By the 20th century, doctors weren't even aware segmented sleep had existed. The unbroken 8-hour block became normal. Anything else became a disorder. Which means the 3 a.m. wake-up you dread. It might not be your sleep breaking. It might be your sleep trying to remember something older than electricity. Circadian researcher Charles Cheesler, who has spent decades studying how light governs the human body clock, has shown just how powerful artificial light really is. Even dim light from a screen can suppress melatonin enough to delay and fragment sleep. Your ancestors' darkness was total. Yours almost never is. Think about what your nights actually look like now. A phone screen an hour before bed. A hallway light left on. An alarm clock glowing red in the corner. None of it feels like much. All of it is telling your brain that night hasn't really started. So your body, deprived of true darkness, tries to compress its rest into a single forced block, because that's the only window modern life gives it. No wonder so many people report waking at 3 a.m. with racing thoughts instead of where's calm, prolactin-soaked stillness. The gap is still there. But without real darkness leading up to it, your brain fills that gap with anxiety instead of peace. Here's the twist worth sitting with. Segmented sleep wasn't a flaw your ancestors were stuck with. It may have been an advantage. That waking hour gave communities time to talk, to check on each other, to notice danger, to bond in ways that unbroken sleep never allows. Some anthropologists studying present-day hunter-gatherer groups, including the Hadza of Tanzania, have found similarly fragmented, non-continuous sleep patterns, especially among older members of the group. It's been suggested this staggered wakefulness may have served a purpose. Someone was always at least a little bit alert. Around a fire, in the dark, with predators nearby, that mattered. Unbroken sleep might be the anomaly. Not the fragmented kind. So the next time you wake at 3 a.m., ask yourself something before you reach for your phone in frustration. What if this isn't a problem to fix? What if it's a rhythm your body is quietly asking you to remember? You don't have to bring back candlelight or abandon your mattress. But you can give your body what it's actually asking for. Real darkness in the hours before bed. Fewer screens. Less blue light convincing your brain that midnight is actually noon. And if you do wake up in the dark, you don't have to panic. You don't have to scroll. You can just lie there. Let your mind drift the way it did for thousands of years, in the quiet space between first sleep and second. It's 3 a.m. You wake up. Your heart isn't racing. Nothing is wrong. Your ancestors are just saying hello.